Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, Mrs. Miss Opeyemi.
Yes, good
Good evening,
evening,
Miss.
everyone. Miss Precious, good evening.
Yes, good evening, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. This is Precious Opeyemi speaking. Welcome to another episode of our TBD, our Wednesday TBDs. So, recently we have had a recap of our previous TBD episodes, including the ongoing Teacher as a Leader series. And under the Teacher as a Leader series, considering the REACH model today. So, to my knowledge, the REACH model covers a series of various concepts and stands for many things depending on the specified matter of discussion. However, the REACH model we'll be considering today has to do with behaviors that define a teacher leader. So, handling this session, we have our guest speaker, Miss Opeyemi Ogundipe, and she'll be taking us through on this journey. Ms. Opeyemi Ogundipe is a dedicated and results-driven teaching professional, a certified counselor, and teens coach. She is committed to positively impacting the lives of children, adolescents, and youth. With a strong work ethic and unwavering integrity, she excels as an educator, empowering students and teachers to reach their full potential and flourish in their pursuit. Mrs. Opeyemi aspires to be a family therapist. Mr. Opeyemi, we are honored to have you with us. Please feel welcome. Make yourself welcome. You can
Thank
have
you
the
so
floor.
much. Thank you, Miss Precious Mawali. And I also want to appreciate the leadership of Everything Literature and the creative director, that's Mr. Olamide Bokola. Thank you so much for this privilege to be part of this team, and it's such a pleasure. Thank you so much. I appreciate. When I got the invite and I saw the rich model and it sounded like the rich teacher, like R.I.C.H, rich teacher. So it's a wonderful model that I believe as teachers we can all learn from, and we'll be going into this session briefly. But before then, I would like to ask us a brief question. Should teachers be called leaders? Because the topic says the teacher as a leader. So should teachers be called leaders? I want responses, please. And if you have said whatever response you are given, you are not incorrect. So you give us a reason why you think teachers should be called leaders or otherwise. Okay, Miss Precious, you can speak.
Okay, good evening, Mr. Opeyemi.
Good evening,
So,
ma'am.
thank you, ma'am. So, I think teachers should be called leaders first because they are given they have the responsibility to guide their students, and leadership leadership entails guiding. It's also part of the criteria for leadership. So the fact that they are guiding students and also building students to become future leaders, I feel it also qualifies them to be leaders. So teachers should be called leaders.
Thank you for your submission. Thank you so much. Any contrary opinion? Maybe somebody is saying no, 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 no. We shouldn't be called teachers. Teachers are just teachers. So, do you have any other person that has something to share?
Sorry, I wanted to add because being a teacher automatically makes you a leader. The position is already a leadership position on its own because it
Mm,
comes with the responsibilities of a leader. So that's what I wanted
exactly.
to add now.
Yeah. Thank you. So, is everybody agreeing to this submission by Miss Precious that teachers are supposed to be leaders naturally? Okay.
I agree as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Lamide. That's fine. So, if teachers are leaders, then why are we here today looking at the rich model? And are the roles of teachers limited to the classroom? I want to just give this analogy. When a school is trying to recruit a head teacher, a principal, or any leadership role, do they look out for a banker, doctor, or engineer who have spent a number of years in their own fields? I'm sure they won't do that. They will definitely look for a teacher who has excelled in the teaching profession. Okay, that will be the first point of contact, not someone outside the teaching profession. So it shows that as teachers, we develop and nurture leadership even as we go into the journey of teaching profession. So I also believe that every teacher is a leader in our respective spaces. And like Ms. Precious said, since you are leading a classroom, or you are the one in charge of a classroom, or you are also attending to children in your classroom, it shows you're already taking up leadership roles, regardless of the title. No, most time when we hear leadership, we think it's just title like, oh, the head of school, the owner of school, head of a nation. No, we all as individuals are leaders in our various, in our respective places. Even at home, in the family, we are all individual leaders in our various spaces. So, and in the words of John Maxwell, a great leader, it says that leadership is influence and that everything rises and falls on leadership. So it is a lot of work. Leadership is a lot of work. It's beyond the title that we possess. It's beyond being called a head teacher, being called the school owner. No, it's beyond that. There is a lot of responsibilities attached to being a leader, and that's why we're here this evening. So teachers, we engage in numerous roles in the school. It is not. It's even in our classroom. Sure, we don't just do what we are assigned to do. We do beyond, impacting the knowledge of subjects to our children. We do a lot of, we carry out a lot of roles as teachers, and one of them we can, I think, is in slide 4. We can open to, please help me go to slide 4. Thank you, Miss Precious. So one of our responsibilities or roles as teachers, is it roles of teachers? I think it's slide 4.
That
So
wasn't me. Yeah, it was Mr. Alamide.
okay, Mr. Lamide, okay, thank you. So one of them is improving student achievement. Of course, when you got that appointment letter that you want to be a teacher in a school, you want to foresee the affair of the class assigned to you. Your goal there is to work with the learners and is to ensure they achieve what their learning goals. And number two is that you extend your own learning to the children. So it is all encompassing. You're working together with the children. There is this what we call teaching and learning experience. So both the teachers and the learners are all learning together. I used to say this to my colleagues. I say that teacher is just a title, like a designation for your role. A pupil is a name assigned to a child enrolled in a school. Meanwhile, in the classroom, everyone in the class should be a learner. Do you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, everyone in the classroom should be a learner. We are actually supposed to be co-learners with our learners in the classroom. We can be critical learners, or the one modeling the learning experience. But I tell you, we are meant to learn together with the children because the children too have things to share. They have something to contribute to the learning experience. So teachers shouldn't just take up the whole show in the classroom while they think, oh, the children are the only one learning. We are all learners in the classroom. Even today, this evening, we are all learning together. I am also a learner in this room with you. Though number three is collaborating for school improvement. That's another aspect of our roles as teachers. We want to know, okay, what areas should our school improve on? What are our unique selling points? Okay, how can we ensure this area is improved upon? So all of us coming together to ensure the school growth is also one of the roles we play as teachers, and that's even beyond the subject that they are assigned to us. You can see that there are many aspects that will find expression as teachers. Another one, which is the final one, but not limited to this four, is supporting shared vision and values. And this evolves from our knowledge, our dedication, and experience. For instance, the first place I worked there was for 8 years, you know, and I got to a new space. If I don't collaborate with my colleagues, if I don't support their vision, I won't bring in my own values and my experiences into the system. Of course, the uniqueness of the school's vision is very important, but my knowledge, my experience can also add to the growth of the school I just joined. So that's who we are as teachers. We are support givers. We give support. We support the vision of the school we work with. Even if you're a school owner on this platform, I'm sure when you see ends that can support your vision, when you see teachers that are ready to go with you any yonder, you are ready to say, come on board with me. And You can assign leadership roles to such person that is ready to give you our best to your school. So as teachers, we carry out a lot of activities, a lot of roles that is beyond the subjects we are supposed to deliver to our learners. Now, there are many school of thought about the definition of teacher leaders. Please, can we go back to the second slide? Please, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Olamide. Now, there are many, like I said, there are many school of thought about this definition of teacher leaders. And one of them was by Katzenmeyer and Moller. And they define teacher leaders as those teachers who lead within and beyond the classroom, identifying with and contributing to a community of teacher learners and leaders, and influencing others towards improved educational practice. I love the word influence that they use there. So they see us that, okay, leaders, teachers and leaders are those that lead within and beyond the classroom. That means that our impact is not limited to the world, to the classroom. So as leaders or as teachers, we have leadership duties to actually play out in our classroom, in the school environment, and even in the society at large. Now, what leadership is not? Leadership is not something bestowed upon a teacher to rise above a role, but should be considered as a necessary step in fulfilling that role in the classroom as a model learner. Thank you for highlighting that. Effective teacher and participant in continuous school improvement, just like we mentioned in the roles we play as teachers. You can see that we are model learners. So our role is not, I want to be a head teacher, I want to be the school owner, I want to be the director of learning, I want to be the head of department. That is not leadership. We rise to it. The values, the influence that we bring to discussion table or to a table of discussion is what gives us the privilege to become leaders or to take on leadership roles. And that role means like the title that we are actually we may consider in our mind. Okay, I want to be the next head of school. I want to be the school owner. That's leadership in quotes. But in the real sense, leadership is not what you say I want to become. You develop, you nurture, you groom yourself into leadership. Somebody said no one is born a leader, but you can actually become one. Yes. So for taking up a leadership, a teaching job or a teaching profession, it shows that you are ready to take on what leadership roles. Now, the next slide talks about what we are really here for. Okay, I think, okay, please can you show the next slide, the slide 3? Slide 3, please. Okay, it says teachers as educational leaders. So all teachers must be educational leaders. All teachers must be educational leaders in order to optimize the teaching and learning experience for themselves and their students. And as professionals, they are expected to do whatever it takes to make that happen. You can see that we have been given this mandate to assume leadership roles. It's compulsory for us to take on leadership as part of our teaching profession. And why should we do that? Because we are professionals. We are professionals. We must be able to do our job professionally. And it must also have a ripple effect on our learners, on our students. First on ourselves, then on our students. Because we can't give what we don't have. All right. So leaders have they have they have their unique qualities, and one of them is what is responsibilities, is giving values. So if we can't have that positive influence on ourselves, on our colleagues, how can we bring that to our classroom? So you can see that is a mandate that has been given to us as teachers to take on leadership duties. Now the next slide, please. Okay, let's go to slide 5. Slide 5 talks about leadership strategies for teachers according to this book that we are trying to review. This session is actually about a book that I would love us to also get. Probably Mr. Olamide is going to share on the group for us to read. The first chapter is what we are considering currently, and the title of the book is the chapter one of the book is titled "Teachers as Leaders." So I would love us to also, pick up this document and have further reading so that we can have better understanding on the model that has been presented to us. And as we also learn together in this session, I believe when we pick up that book to read, we'll be able to relate well with that manual. So the next slide. Thank you, Mr. Olamide, for assisting. The next slide, please. Okay, so we are considering the rich model. Like I said, I thought it was rich teacher, like R.E.A.C.H. So the rich model, and it talks about the behaviors that we have to put together to define us as, teacher leaders. And the rich model for teacher leader provides strategies for strengthening initial leadership steps for any teacher willing to reach his or her capabilities. So anyone that is willing to reach his or her capabilities, this model is for you. This model is for me. And for you to be on this call, it shows that you are really reaching forward for a better you. You are reaching to fulfill your potentials. You're reaching to fulfill your capabilities to make more expressions of who you are as a teacher. To find more expression, you know, to find yourself more. That you're not just a teacher in the classroom. There is more to you. There is more to me as a teacher in the classroom or in a school or in a virtual space. Now, the rich teacher leadership model presented in this book embraces an inclusive approach to teacher leadership, and it is designed for professionals like you and me. The rich model is grounded in theory, supported by research, and focused on actionable steps. It reframes leadership not as a title, like I said, or a status conferred upon teachers to elevate them beyond their classroom, and also to make them an integral component of fulfilling those roles. Teachers exemplify leadership by serving as model learners, like we read before, effective educators, and active contributors to continuous school improvement. In essence, the functions or the primary functions of leadership are basically two: for providing direction and exercising influence. If you can't influence your learners positively, then we have to say your role as a teacher is questionable. If your learners are coming into the classroom in the first year and they remain the same ideology, the same interest, the same weakness remains there, the same strength is not fortified. They are just the same way they were when they enter your class in the first year. And by the end of the session, there is no improvement in them. So we need to question your role as a teacher. Are we together, please? Are we together, please?
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
definitely, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I hope I'm not too fast and I'm not too slow. I hope I'm working in the right space.
The pace is fine, ma'am. Very fine.
Okay, all right, thank you. So teacher leadership can be developed and nurtured in all teachers. I'll say that again. Teacher leadership can be developed and nurtured in all teachers. It is not about our years of services or how long we've spent in a school before we can rise to the leadership roles that comes with titles, e.g., Director of Studies, Head Teacher, School Principal, or District Head. For instance, myself as a teacher, I'll use myself as an example. My first degree was not in education. I have a BSc in accounting. So I wasn't an educator from the beginning. I didn't study education. But then when I joined my first school where I worked, and I've worked as a teacher all my life, I've worked in the school all my life. Though in the school I started as an accountant, but then I delved into teaching along the way. Private schools, they can tell you be accountant, you be receptionist, you be you be admin, hostel mistress. I actually went through all manner of roles in that school, and it prepared me for what I was expecting to become. even in this profession. What I'm saying is that it doesn't matter the years you have spent in the profession or how long you've been in a school. When I got to my first place of work, I rose to a leadership role maybe in 3 years or so, and I've met people there. You get so, and I'm sure it maybe because of the way I do my work and how ready I was to be a learner. I love to learn. I love asking questions. I remember the first year when I joined, I was so overwhelmed with work, and I'm like, I called the admin, sir. Please, can you tell me my job description in this school? What am I? I am not. I was so tired. And he told me, learn on the job. Oh my God. That was what he said to me. Because I was doing so much. I was a hostel mistress. I was an accountant. I got to take on a subject in the school again, you know, and I was just overwhelmed. And just told me, okay, learn on the job. So I gave myself grace. Okay, calm down. Try to prioritize your duties. And that's how I get on the job. And at the time, they started dropping some roles for me. Then they streamlined it to one or two. So I was not everywhere again. But then I learned in various capacities in the school. Now, let's proceed. So the REACH concept, they are actually acronyms. We have R.E.A.C.H. So we are reaching for capabilities, right? So the REACH model is actually representing an acronym. R for risk taking, E for effectiveness, A for autonomy, then C for collegiality, and H for honor. So we'll take the first one, risk taking. And briefly, or in summary, it means teachers who seek challenges and create new processes. That's for risk taking. So, are teachers risk takers? Are we into financial investment that we are taking risk? Can anybody talk about that? Teachers as risk takers. So, do we see ourselves as taking risk? Yes. Anyone? Okay, let me proceed. So teacher leaders embrace challenges and seek growth to enhance their own satisfaction and student success. They align with their school's mission while driving innovation and improvement, and they are considered as movers and shakers. All right, because they address challenges, engage in decision making, and challenge the status quo. Now, when I began my journey as a teacher, like I said, I approached the admin, what are my job descriptions, and he told me learn on the job. What did I do? I was learning. How can I get this thing done better? How can I make my work more effective? That's you taking on what you have not journeyed there before. We are like, okay, you can do it. I encouraged myself to take it on, to continue doing what I was doing, and also asking my colleagues to support me on the journey as well. So, with a strong sense of control, we as teachers we delay gratification, we persist through challenges, and we maintain optimism. I was so optimistic. Yeah, they call me optimistic Opeyemi. Yeah, because I was so optimistic that okay, this job, this profession is actually profitable, and it's about impacting lives. I remember in that particular school too, there we were given this lesson note where you write your name, subject, the school name. So that place where we have name for section for to write my name, Opeyemi Ogundipe. I was writing life transformers, that's what I wrote there. Like I'm a life transformer. That's what I wrote there. Do you know that there was a time when I left the school and I visited the school again, my proprietor's son was a student I taught that particular period. And he said, Mr. Kwame, did you remember your book that used to write life transformer? And I'm like, that's true, life transformer. Because that's the way I saw myself as a teacher, that I'm in this role to bless
Okay, I
the
think
life of loved ones.
can you
Yes.
speak a bit louder, ma'am?
Oh, okay. Okay, all right. So I was trying to share a story of how I was a risk taker as a teacher when I began my journey, and how I perceived myself to be a life transformer, even though I was not an educator then. I was not a trained educator, but then I was persistent, and I was insistent to tell myself that I can do this role. And I tell you, I also took on diploma in education because I felt, oh, this is the industry where I'm going to be functioning. So I had to take on, you know, some courses to become a trained teacher. So as teachers, we actively pursue innovative programs to benefit students and ourselves. And we also create meaningful and engaging learning experiences for our learners. So as teachers, our job is not just to take the lesson notes and just go to the classroom. Today we are learning mathematics. No. We try to ensure that we have an engaging environment, that the learners are ready, they are emotionally ready, they are socially ready to engage in that conversation for the day. So teachers try to deploy many means to ensure the learning experiences is what every moment for the children. So our dynamism is very, very important as teachers to ensure that our instructions are tailored to meet the needs of our learners. So number two is effectiveness. Please, if you have questions, maybe in the course of this teaching, you can write them down. Then when I'm done teaching, you can just ask. And if you need to ask in the midst in the course of this learning, so you can just use the virtual raise a hand emoji to indicate that you want to talk. Then I will let you speak. Number two, which is the second letter in reach, is E, and that signifies what? Effectiveness. Effectiveness. Teacher leaders are exemplary educators. Yes, we are we are. I don't know how to qualify us. People give us so much respect because they know that we are doing a lot for their children. Imagine a teacher praying that has one child in the class and is not comfortable having one child, like, God, give me five. I want 10 children. How would I be teaching one child in my class? I want 20. They are asking for more children in their class. They are ensuring that publicity is intensified in the school so that they can have more kids in their classroom. That's how super amazing we are as teachers. So we are exemplary educators who combine expertise, our best practices, and genuine care. My voice is echoing.
I think you are unmuted, Mr. Olamide. Okay. He has muted himself.
Okay, okay. And we serve as mentors and role models to our students. So what we are doing is credible. Our role is important in every society. Education is a change maker for every nation, and we should consider ourselves as 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 blessed for being in this profession because the world needs us, the society needs us, the nations of the world needs our our input to ensure there is a sane society. So having established all of this, that we are role models and we are mentors to our learners, we are able to establish credibility through the deep knowledge of our subjects. We try to connect disciplines. Like now, if I'm taking, let's say I'm taking which subject? Let's say I'm taking social studies. There's a way I can bring in. Let me say the topic is family. There's a way we can bring in different family, like extended family, nuclear family together, trying to connect these two families together and teaching our children. Then we're talking about, okay, the family of this medical doctor, the family of this engineer, comparing, trying to, trying to relate families together. Your family, my family, how do we relate as families? We try to connect disciplines together, from different angles, and our learners are also able to contribute and also understand what we are teaching them. We also apply diverse teaching methods to reach all our students. And we all know that when a child is not learning the way we teach, what do? We teach the way they what? They learn. It's very important we understand the learning styles of our learners, because if we keep doing it the way we've been doing it before, we keep getting the same results. And we all know that there are different learning styles which we must know. We must be able to integrate these learning styles into the teaching and learning experiences to meet the need of every child in our care. Then also, as teachers, being effective is also means that we select appropriate textbooks and materials for our teaching. You don't just go and so you know some people teach directly from their textbook. They just pick a math textbook and they start teaching. They have not made research. They don't even have good lesson starters. They don't even know how to communicate what they have seen in the textbook to their learners. Just everybody open to page 5, answer question 1 to 10. Whether a child understands number 1 or not, they don't know. They don't care. That is not who an effective teacher is. An effective teacher is a person that models best practice, professional growth, and art connections. You connect to your learners. There is what we call the art of teaching. That's ART. You know the pedagogy is fine. There's what we call the heart of teaching. That's your own heart. HEART. You are connecting with your learners. You're connecting that they are involved in learning. You understand your learners. You know what they want. You know what each represents. You understand each of your learners. And that is a kinesthetic learner. This is an auditory learner. This is a visual learner. This is a read and write learner. You know who every child is in your class. And that's your first job as a teacher when you are given a new class. Don't just start with teaching math, English, social studies, science. No. Understand the individuality of your learners. You have to do that. It will help you enough to know how to, to help them learn when you are introducing any topic to them. The next is that we are able to integrate technology to enhance learning as effective teachers. Thankfully, this word we had today is a word of what? Innovative technologies. If you're not techie, you're not tech savvy as a teacher, then you have to work on that. And I tell you, it's not a big deal at all that we have been in traditional setting. Fine. Things are evolving. Tech is just evolving. And we too can dance to the tune of technology. We can't just stay aloof and say, oh, I'm not ready. I don't have that. I don't have that. No, you can't do that as to ensure you integrate tech into what we are teaching our children. And these are digital what they are called digital natives. So, and that's how they are wired. When you bring in any tech tool or any tech game in the classroom, you see how interested they are in what you want to teach them. Even if you don't have a laptop or your school is not tech savvy, or your school is not already integrating technology, your phone can do the job. You can start with your phone, all right? Then finally, we are able to relate our content to student lives. Learning it can be done in real time. It's what we can actually introduce real life experiences into our learning engagement. It's not abstract. Learning is not abstract. 2 plus 2 is as real as I am talking with you. 2 plus 2 bring in concrete items. There are real life stories that we can share with our learners that will help them to relate what you are introducing to them to what they already know. So we cannot continue to teach in abstract and expect what? A change to take place. Meanwhile, we know that learning takes place when there's what? There is a relative change in behavior. So let us make our content or what we are teaching our children to what? Be relatable. Let it relate to their lives as well. I'm teaching a child currently a virtual space. I've not met her before physically. And this girl tells you or tells me every time she's she's a horse. She's calling us all manner of names. And you want to teach math. You have one heart to teach math. Do you just start it today? We are teaching ratio, and you forget that this girl has emotional baggage that she's battling with. You deal with that first. You deal with that first, because our life, our emotion, our social well-being is important, even as our academic is also important. So you have to what? Deal with that issue before you want to go into ratio or whatever topic you want to teach the child. So let us ensure that our content are relatable. They are what the children can say, oh, I've heard it before. Oh, I've seen it before. Oh, it happens in the market. Oh, it happens in my friend's place. Oh, that teacher said it. They should be able to relate what we are teaching them, not just what we just took out from the textbook and we just give it out to them. We must be able to go through the content we want to teach our children before we start teaching. So when we are teaching them and there is any clause, we'll be able to address it immediately. So part of being effective as teachers is that we are lifelong learners. We are lifelong learners. And we continually refine our pedagogies because learning is evolving to what we learned, how we learned 2 plus 2 last in the last 5 years. It's not the way 2 plus 2 is taught now. Even though 2 plus 2 is still 4, there are different approaches to 2 plus 2. Not just say count 1 and 2 and 2 and 2. No. So we continually refine our pedagogies. We demonstrate that teaching requires ongoing growth and the interplay of our subject mastery. So we need to keep improving on our skills. We need to embrace continuous professional development. We need to do that. We need to have collaborative engagement with our colleagues. Don't say I know it all alone. No, you have to share what you know. I am very happy that before I left my former role, that's my former place of work, I introduced them to Canva design. And do you know that last week or so, if a colleague of mine, she's not doing a training, teaching parents using Canva designs. No, she will teach her about how to. She's a toddler. She's into toddlers. She's a UIFS teacher, early years teacher. Yeah, yes. So she is now using Canva to do presentation that she will share on her status for parents to go through. You know, I introduce them to Canva designs. Share what you know, share knowledge, share what you know. Don't be an island of what you know. I tell you, what you know is limited to you alone. By the time you start sharing, you know that there is still more to what you have not even known. So the more you share, the more you even get insight. All right. And I remember the day I was teaching them, they started telling me, "How do you get it? How do you get this one? How do you get that one?" And even me that I was the teacher, I was like, "Okay, let's check together." I also learned from them, even though I thought I had mastery. Of course, I use Canva a lot, but their questions made me to say, "Okay, let me see to it. I'll get back to you on it." Are you getting it now? So it's important that what we share knowledge. It makes us get better at what we do, and it also helps us to have collaborative relations with our colleagues or people we are working with in our various spaces. The third one is autonomy. It has to do with being independent, of course. And one thing is that there's no, like I said, nobody is an island of knowledge. So with autonomy, teachers will display initiative, independent thought, and responsibility. You're not just independent like, "Oh, I know it all alone." No. You're an independent thinker and you contribute to school's growth. You foster collaboration. With what you know, you are able to what? To encourage others. Still on my former place of work, when I got into the school, that first term, I realized that the school was not having an active social media. So I approached the school owner, the proprietress, and I told her, "Ma, what can we do about this and all of that?" She said, "Oh, speak to the admin." Then I went to the admin. He was actually the one in charge. That's the accountant, rather. He was the one in charge. But because I think because he has a lot of responsibilities, he couldn't keep up with posting. So what did we do? We had to share responsibilities. Okay, he told me, "You share this, you share that." Before you know it, the social media became active again because I was interested in the school growth. My independent thought, I didn't leave it to myself. I said, "Oh, the school is not growing. What can I do?" I made a step. I made a what? An active approach to meet with the owner. All right. Then she said I should meet with the accountant who was in charge of the social media. Before you know it, in growth. So school improvement initiatives encourage reflection on classroom practices. Teachers are often excluded from decisions on policies and curricula affecting their students, reducing them to implementers of directives from distant authorities. For instance, the issue that we have currently about the new Minister of Education. Oh, Miss Precious, you have a question, ma?
Um, Yes, my another question. So I wanted to ask if you could please round up because of
Oh,
time.
okay, all right, ma. All right, ma. All right, thank you. So, I was saying that people are really concerned about the roles of our current Minister of Education because he's from the health sector and now he's coming to lead the education industry. We are wishing him the best, but we hope that his best is best enough. All right, so that's being said, taking our responsibility doesn't mean that we have to take on other people's roles. We have to, we are saying that, oh, we want to be independent and we can share responsibilities. No, you don't have to take on other people's job because it can be overwhelming. But then you have to be good at what you do. You must lead effectively what roles have been assigned to you as a teacher leader. Then the third one is collegiality, and that is one from the word colleague. From the word colleague, we can't work alone in a school. You can't be the only teacher in your school. Of course, you have to work with other people. So collegiality is built on mutual support, cooperation, and a shared commitment to common professional values and goals. Without collegiality, we can't have an effective school environment. We can't have effective communication. We can't even show genuine support for our colleagues and even our students. So teachers who promote community and interactive communication skills, that means they embrace collegiality. And this is very, very important for us as teacher leaders. We need to foster trust and lead by example. We need to strengthen positive influence and collaboration among our colleagues. It's very important for us to stand out as teacher leaders or as teachers. We need to ensure we embrace other people's opinion, reason together, then come to a conclusion. Don't think you know everything. We all know something, and we can all bring our ideas to the table and come to a promising conclusion. Then finally, letter H in the R.E.A.C.H model represents honor. Honor means to have a high regard for someone or something, and we are called noble professionals. That's what we are called as teachers. We are respected individuals in the society, and our impact exceeds the walls of a classroom or a school environment. So, as teachers, what makes us honorable? What makes us significant individuals in society? What makes us respected? What makes us noble professionals? Number one is that teacher leaders embody integrity. We are people that we honor professional ethics, and we recognize that being a teacher and a leader are driven by purpose. So, what made you to come into this profession? Is it for the goodies? Is it for the money? Money is good, of course. Is it for the affluence? Like you want to have fame, you want to be known as the best teacher in the world, the best teacher in your school. Is that why you're in the school environment? Or are you there to support your teachers? Are you there to support your learners' growth? Are you there to also support the vision of your school? So as teachers, we have to model this last letter, which is honor. We must be people of honor, and honor should not end when we are in the school environment. Honor should extend beyond the school environment, in the market, when we are in the bus commuting, in our family, in our religious places, anywhere we are worshiping. We must model this honorable behavior. We must be distinguished teachers. They must say, yes, she's a teacher because of the values that she possesses. So your values must make you distinct from other people. That's what makes us what teacher leaders, because we are people of honor. So the rich model, as we have been considering, connect these qualities into a framework that serve as a foundation for being effective teacher leaders. And sincerely, in an ideal environment, leadership should foster what safe, engaging, and well-equipped schools where all of us can thrive. So the rich model is a very unique model that all of us should still look into, should study it. I believe Mr. Lambe is going to share the document with us for us to look at it together again. Look at the model, read the model again, chapter one to the rest of it, and see how you can be that teacher that can reach his or her full capabilities. Thank you so much for listening. All right, so it's time for us to interact. If you have questions, you have contribution, you have comment to make, please go ahead. Thank you so much for. I appreciate. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Lamide. Mr.
Much.
Lamide. Thank you, Miss Precious.
Thank you
Yes,
so
ma'am.
much. You masterfully handled the session. It was very interactive and was very interesting too.
Thank you, ma'am.
Uh, so because we're very short on time, I actually had two questions I was going to ask.
Okay,
So
ma'am.
because of that, I'll just ask one quickly, and I would like if you can answer them like very briefly or
Okay.
answer it very briefly. Yes. So can I
Please
go
go
ahead
ahead.
now? Yeah, so speaking on honor, one of the highlighted qualities in the REACH model,
Yes,
how
please.
can educators effectively balance their leadership roles with the need to maintain a professional and impeccable reputation, both within and outside the classroom, like carrying out their roles actively while maintaining a spotless reputation? How can they effectively balance these roles? Yes, that's my question, ma'am.
Okay. As representing age, right? The age aspect, right?
Yes, the age honor.
Okay, honor. So who love to be honored here? Who love the word honor? Love to be honored wherever you go to, whatever you have found, wherever you are seen. Beautiful. Okay. Honor is a very beautiful thing. Honor is earned. Okay? You earn it. You don't have to pay money. You don't have to pay. You don't have to exchange honor with monetary terms. But when you're a person of honor, you deserve it. You are deserving of it. You earn it. People accord honor to you because of what you represent. If I mention the names of, let me say the name of Ibuku Awoshika, do you honor that woman? Do you know her?
Yes, I do.
Do you know Fela Durotoye?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so these are people of honor, right? Did they pay for that name? Did they pay for us to honor them? No, they
I
don't.
I think maybe the impact that they've made and maybe the work they've put in already paid for the honor that they're receiving now.
Exactly, exactly. So the values we bring, the lifestyle we live within and outside the classroom are very important to give us good reputation wherever we find ourselves. So it's not living a double standard. Oh, I'm a teacher in the school, then I'm somebody else at home. That's not supposed to be our life as teachers. We're meant to continue modeling that life everywhere we find ourselves. In my church, they know me as a teacher, not because I told them I'm a teacher. In my house, they know me as a teacher. Even my neighbors, the children of my neighbors know me as a teacher. Not because I told them I'm a teacher. Of course, they know I teach in the school. I teach children, all right? But they don't accord me that honor because I tell them, be honoring me, or be calling me teacher Opeyemi, be calling me this particular name. No. They give the honor because of the way I conduct myself out there, the way I carry myself with dignity. I celebrate myself as a teacher. I have friends who are chartered accountants. I have friends who are auditors. I have friends who are doing well in the finance industry. So me as a teacher now coming into their space, should I feel less of myself because I'm a teacher? No, I shouldn't. They are professionals. I'm also a professional. So until you start giving meaning to what you're doing, people won't give meaning to you. Until you begin to honor yourself as a teacher, nobody's going to give you honor. You can't give what you don't have, and you can't deserve what you have not played out. So, as teachers, I think we have to start working on ourselves first. We have to reach that level where we take everything about us as important. My life as a teacher is not different as my life outside my teaching profession. I'm a person of value. I'm a person of dignity. I'm a person of integrity. Integrity is not a very ambiguous word. Even when I'm typing and I'm calling, my cousins are there. They are watching me, and I'm not at home. I'm at home, and I'm telling them I'm not at home. I have told a lie. So I don't have to teach integrity as a subject. I don't have to teach honor as a subject. Do I honor my colleagues? Do I yell at them? Now, the way I served last, I served there for 2 years and 7 months. After 1 year, I rose to become the leader, the head teacher of the school. I had met people there. Do you understand? I didn't tell the former my predecessor to make me the next head teacher. She had to tell me, okay, I want you to take on this role. I said no, I'm not ready for it. I'm just a year old here. Hey, all about those I've met here. But she said it's beyond that. And I know it's actually beyond that. I almost rejected that offer, but I gave her time. I told her to give me time to think about it. Till now, I've not asked her what did you see in me, but I'm sure she must have some qualities in me that made her to nominate me for that role. And I served in that capacity for 1 year and 7 months before I left the school. And I know I didn't leave anyhow. For that 1 year and 7 months I was serving, I know God helped me to serve well. Managing people, managing my colleagues, managing the students, managing my leaders, the owner, and also those in the management um, um, team. It's a lot of work. So it's not about teaching honor or being honorable. It's about you living the life of honor. Then you get that honor. All right, Miss Precious. I hope I answered the question, ma.
Yes, I think you did, Ma. Yes, thank you very much. So
Thank
basically, you
you.
mentioned as a teacher, you don't necessarily have to teach some things and some values. Just living those values out
Yes.
enables your students and those that look up to you to imitate you. So if you do good, they imitate good. If you do bad, they imitate bad.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think that's yeah. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry I have to cut you in at this point because the call is I think it's a scheduled call, so the call will end automatically in a few minutes. So we have to end very soon. I wish
Okay.
we had more time. Yeah,
Okay.
I wish we
Okay.
had more time. Thank you so much for handling the session, Master Philima. If anyone else has a question, you can just send it, post it in the network group, and we'll take your questions there. Mr. Kwame will take your questions there. So you can catch up with us on YouTube with the previous episodes of our theme-based discussions on YouTube and connect with us on our website, www.everythingliterature.net. My name is Precious Olawale, and we've come to the end of today's or tonight's discussion. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. Thank you, Mr. Kwame, for your time and for this insightful um, lecture you gave us tonight. Really appreciate
Thank
it.
you
Mr.
for
Lamdi,
having me. Salamide, you have something to say.
yeah. You can go ahead. You can go ahead, sir.
Yes, I just want to say a big shout out to um, Ms. Opeyemi. Thank you so much. How I wish we don't have this session timed so that we'd have enough time, and all that. But I believe we can always reach out to you and get to host you again because I was actually putting down some things, most especially when you said we should learn to become distinguished teachers, teachers who distinguish themselves. Thank you
Sure.
so.
Thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Lamide. I
Thank
appreciate.
you so much. You give us a lot of names. You call teachers support givers, value givers, and that they are people with empathy. They ensure the learners achieve their learning goals. They said a lot that these few minutes won't be able to capture. But we really appreciate your time. Thank you for coming. And
Can
thanks
we
to
hear
everyone
Miss
that also joined
Comfort's
the call.
voice? Miss Comfort.
Yes, that's Miss Comfort hasn't said it. Hello, Comfort, quickly before the call ends.
Hello, hello, ma.
Yes, yes, Miss Comfort. Yes, we'd love to hear from you.
I actually have a question. I have a question,
Hey, Miss Comfort,
but
can
I'll
you type it in the group?
yes, I will.
Because yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. Thank
Thank
you for
you.
joining.
It's nice hearing your voice too.
Thank you so much, everyone.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Bye.